What's going on? I came across a video that I wanted to check out, and it's a couple of days old. And I knew this had this what I'm about to get into happened, but I just wanted to do a little research and look into some things before I spoke about it. But here recently, Marcus Morris plays for the Lakers. He has a twin brother, Markeith Morris. He was on ESPN. He was on the Kevin O'Connor show. I believe that's on ESPN. And he made a comment about Anthony Davis being in LeBron James' way. And I don't know where this narrative is coming from all of a sudden. Of course, Marcus Morris plays for the Lakers, and he has ties to LeBron James. So maybe LeBron James is behind it, or maybe that's just how he feels personally. But he's got to be getting a Clutch Sports check or something. And maybe this is something that LeBron James wants to say or wants out there to not take accountability for not getting things done like he should have with Anthony Davis on his team. Now, if anybody remembers when Anthony Davis was playing for the Pelicans and the Lakers were trying to get him, how they went about getting Anthony Davis, they desperately wanted him to join the team. And they kind of persuaded Anthony Davis to force his way out of New Orleans, and that's what happened. Basically, they went about things in an unethical way, and Anthony Davis pretty much forced himself out of New Orleans. I believe he was still under contract or something, and it wasn't up. And Anthony Davis in New Orleans led the league in block shots 3 times at 2 a game. And also, Anthony Davis averaged in New Orleans 23 points a game, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 10 rebounds. And he led the league in blocks 3 times. And he averaged 28 a game. He averaged 28 points a game twice and 11 rebounds twice while playing with the New Orleans Pelicans. So Anthony Davis was already established and doing his thing, and was on his way to superstar status and in the NBA, basically. Anthony Davis joined the Lakers at 26 years old, around the same time as Luka Doncic, entering his prime. When he joined the team, LeBron James was 34 years old. He joined the team when LeBron James was 35. The year before that, of course, LeBron James was 34 years old. Didn't even make the playoffs for the Lakers. I don't know how he's considered the GOAT, and it's even an argument that he's the greatest player of all time if he missed the playoffs and he's 34 years old. Michael Jordan at 34 years old was an All-Star MVP, an NBA MVP, an NBA champion, and NBA Finals MVP. LeBron James at 34 years old finished 11th in MVP voting and didn't make the playoffs. So LeBron James desperately wanted Anthony Davis to come to the LA Lakers. When Anthony Davis joined the LA Lakers, let's see here. The LA Lakers ended up winning the championship. That was in 2019, 2020. The Lakers ended up winning the NBA championship. Yes, the bubble. But they won. They had a super team, in my opinion, as well, but they won. And Anthony Davis was the reason, because the year before, the Lakers didn't even make the playoffs. And not only was Anthony Davis the reason they won, of course, LeBron had to stack the deck. They had Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, and others. You get my drift, though. Anthony Davis for the Lakers. So when he played for the Pelicans, he averaged 23 points a game for his career with the Pelicans. 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 10 rebounds. Anthony Davis with the Lakers stepped his game up more and averaged 24 points a game. 24.8. 2 blocks, 1 steal, 11 rebounds. So his points went up by 1 point and rebounds went up by 1 point. So when Anthony Davis came to the Lakers, he was still doing his thing and getting better, basically. They only won 1 NBA championship, and LeBron still couldn't get it done with the deck stacked, bringing in Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and a list of others. And the year that Anthony Davis came, LeBron James jumped from MVP voting from 11 to number 2 in MVP voting when he started playing with Anthony Davis. So it looks like when Anthony Davis came, he he helped LeBron James as much as he could, as much as he was allowed to, because they didn't use Anthony Davis the right way and didn't play for him like they should have and like they were supposed to. But now Anthony Davis is in LeBron's way. So I just wanted to play, I just want to play this little clip so motherfuckers can hear what Marcus Morris said, and then Stephen A, and then I'll come back.
I felt Anthony Davis was in LeBron's way. You know what I mean? Because LeBron's really a 4 now, and that's the position that Anthony Davis wanted to play. He was always on the box. He wasn't really stretching the 3 that well. Now you add another guard, not even just another guard. Let's just make that clear. You add top 5 guard in the NBA.
Top 5 player
That can get it from anywhere, and he's a matchup nightmare. When 77 walk in the building, OKC, Minnesota, Phoenix, Clippers, they dread seeing him. And now he got 2-3 on his back, right with him.
So fuck up.
Interesting take there. SA, do you agree that AD was actually in LeBron's way?
Believe it or not, I do. And I think that that was an excellent analysis on the part of Marcus Morris. And by the way, just as an aside, I give props to Marcus and Markeith. They've been in the league for a long time. They've been on a lot of different teams. They're always a plus. They're never a minus, and they bring a lot to the game of basketball. I think once they both retire, you're gonna see both of them doing some television work. I really, really believe that. Having said all of that, I want to go back to Luka Doncic, Eminem, Jay, from the perspective of JJ Redick. This is a quote 2 weeks before the Luka Doncic trade. JJ Redick says, "We don't have a guy on our team that's going to necessarily always draw to the ball." This is what he said on January 19th after a 116-102 loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. He says, "We don't have a guy on our team that's going to be able to get past his guy one-on-one and get to the paint and spread it out to the perimeter. Like, that's just not our team." Now, if you remember when LeBron and JJ Redick were doing their podcast together, okay? And if you remember the aftermath of that, when JJ Redick talked about what the Lakers needed and what the geometry of the LA offense should be, what they were talking about, JJ's aspiration was to be a high 3-point volume shooting team. That's what he wanted. The Lakers were averaging 33.8 three-point attempts per game, which ranked 27th in the league before Luka arrived. They now average 41.7, and it's 6th in the league. And so this style of play, yeah, Rob Pelinka might have got that call, but I assure you, when he went to JJ Redick said, "Do everything you can to get that damn deal done." Because Luka Doncic coming to our team, being able to draw attention from defenses, is going to free up others to shoot threes. And one of those people are going to include LeBron James, who's essentially your wideout because he gets to operate more in open space. He gets to play bully ball when he wants to because he's 6'9", 260, or he gets to step outside because he's improved his three-point shot. And oh, by the way, he's having more uncontested three-point shots than he ever has had in a Lakers uniform. This is what Luka has brought to the team. This is the aspiration.
He could have got that
JJ
with
Redick
Anthony
had,
Davis.
and that's what I think makes Marcus Morris very, very accurate with what and astute with what he was saying, because it just happens to be true. It's proven to be true.
All right, man. So you heard dumbass Marcus Morris, and you heard dumbass Stephen A. Smith. Oh, now, now LeBron wants to be a 4, so now he wants to be a 4. That's what Marcus Morris said. Now he wants to be a 4. Well, Marcus Morris, LeBron James is not a power forward. LeBron James is either a small forward or you can play him at the point guard. So I think it's safe to say that he's getting in Anthony Davis's way if now he wants to play power forward. And what was the reason why you didn't explain a reason why he wanted to play power forward? because he shouldn't have to play power forward. You have Anthony Davis. What it is J.J. Redick didn't know what to do with Anthony Davis, and now you have Stephen A. Smith basically making excuses for J.J. Redick because he didn't know what to do with Anthony Davis. J.J. Redick, Anthony Davis can knock down threes, and he can have the floor open up for LeBron to shoot open threes. If you knew what to do with Anthony Davis and play through Anthony Davis. Now, I know he's hurt a lot and all that shit, but don't say that Anthony Davis was in LeBron James's way. That just takes away accountability. When you say that, it just takes away accountability from LeBron because he couldn't get the job done with Anthony Davis. Not only has Anthony Davis played with LeBron throughout those years, he had Carmelo Anthony on the team. He had Russell Westbrook on the team. Who else did he bring over? I just know those are a couple of the other big names that he brought over. Along with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, you got Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and others. And you still couldn't get the job done. And then you blame Russell Westbrook. Carmelo Anthony didn't get much blame, but who cares about Carmelo Anthony? And now you're blaming Anthony Davis. It just takes away accountability from LeBron James because he's not able to get it done. The first year he was in LA, he missed the playoffs at age 34. Like I said, if we're comparing him to Michael Jordan and calling him the GOAT, Michael Jordan won an NBA championship at 34 and a finals MVP and a regular season MVP and an all-star game MVP. So now, the thing is, anytime LeBron James comes up short, it's somebody else's fault. I mean, that's always been the thing. But that's what it is. So now that's just gonna be what it is, I guess. You couldn't get it done in Cleveland, so you go jump to Miami and play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Ray Allen. Let's not forget him. And others. But Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and Ray Allen. The Miami Heat were done. Were dead in the water. They had got bounced in the first round of the playoffs 4 straight years before LeBron James joined them. He did not have to worry about Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat anymore. They were already out the picture. All LeBron James had to do was be patient, continue to build at Cleveland, and they could have won or started winning. The Raptors weren't going to beat them with Chris Bosh. Like I said, Dwayne Wade and them, they were done. But no, he wanted to go team up because he didn't want to compete. He wanted to play with these players. Then when doing that, so you go play with players that are already established and already doing their thing on their own team. Then you go do that and you barely get it done. You only won 2 out of 4 championships with the Heat. With all that talent and stacking the deck, you only won 2 out of 4 championships. So I guess Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade got in his way, when it's actually the other way around. You actually got in their way and impeding what they had going on and the progress they were making in their own careers. But when you can't get it done stacking the deck, now they're the reason why it's not working out. So you leave. So you leave Miami, you go to Cleveland, barely got it done there. Won 1 championship out of the 4 or 5 years he was there. And not only that, you got Kyrie Irving's way. Kyrie Irving was on a good trajectory before you came back. Got in his way, got him mad and upset because you were on some bullshit behind the scenes. He wants to leave Cleveland, a team that drafted him there. And on top of that, you bring Kevin Love in from the Minnesota Timberwolves, somebody who's already established, doing his thing, putting up great numbers in Minnesota. You bring him, he's just a jump shooter now. He's not even playing the same. But I guess he got in your way too. So you leave Cleveland after a very disappointing 4 or 5 years. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, you won the championship, but it was a very disappointing outing for you, your second stint in Cleveland. So I guess Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and all the people you brought in to play with you in Cleveland that second stint, I guess they got in your way because you couldn't get it done. So you go to L.A. You go to L.A., miss the playoffs your first year at 34 years old. You're supposed to be in the prime of your career. The GOAT in the prime of his career missed the playoffs. So you go to the Lakers, you force Anthony Davis to the Lakers from New Orleans. Anthony Davis helps you. The only time you've won a championship in Los Angeles was with Anthony Davis on your team. You bring Anthony Davis in, you bring Dwight Howard in, Rajon Rondo, and other players, you win the championship in the bubble. and I'll get to that in a minute. And then after that, you don't go back to the NBA championship. And you're the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And on top of that, you're stacking the deck with the Lakers now and still can't get it done. You bringing in players, bringing in different coaches. The Lakers have had 4 different coaches now that LeBron has played for them. 4 different coaches. And I think there was like 2 or 3 in Cleveland, 2. He's played for 9 coaches overall his whole career. 9 different coaches. So I guess the coaches were got in your way and the other players, and Russell Westbrook was in your way. Walton was in your way. Frank Vogel, he was in your way after he led you to a championship. And of course, Darvin Ham, I guess he was in your way. This man's bringing coaches in and out, bringing players in and out, and still can't get it done. And they're in your way. Now the narrative is Anthony Davis is in your way. And then you got Stephen A. Smith agreeing with this shit. Talking about, I agree with the way that J.J. Redick wants to play. Now, J.J. Redick just didn't know what to do with Anthony Davis. And if J.J. Redick was a good coach, it doesn't matter who's on the team. You will figure out how to use them and what's the most effective way to use them. I just think that's fucked up towards Anthony Davis, honestly. And I think LeBron is behind that, and he really wants to say it, but he's having somebody like, because Marcus Morris is on the Lakers team. LeBron James wants to say that, or wants that to be the excuse, but he can't say that. So he has somebody like Marcus Morris come on national TV and say some bullshit like that. So he cannot take accountability for not getting it done with Anthony Davis on his team. Somebody he begged and pleaded to come to the Lakers. Now he wants that to be the narrative because he couldn't get it done with Anthony Davis. And now I guess because Luka Doncic has turned things around, motherfuckers are just gonna believe that and buy that bullshit. And on top of that, man, the reason why he can't do that to Luka Doncic is because now he's 40 years old. And he know it'll look bad if he's still trying to be the man and won't just give Luka Doncic the ball and have him be the focal point. Because that's what he did with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis came and played with LeBron. LeBron was 35 years old. Anthony Davis was 26. Around the same age Luka Doncic is now. And LeBron was past his prime. If he couldn't get it done the year before at 34 years old and couldn't even get to the playoffs, he's past his prime, man. And he's supposed to be the GOAT. This is crazy, man. But yeah, man. I just wanted to come on here and just share that because I thought that was crazy what Marcus Morris said. And I thought it was even crazier that Stephen A. Smith agreed with that bullshit. Then he's over here talking about, well, J.J. Redick wanted. Man, J.J. Redick is not a great coach, man. He can't fucking coach it. I guess he's good at coach, whatever the case may be. But it's easy when you have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You couldn't get it done. But it's easy when you're coaching somebody like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And now Luka Doncic and LeBron James, 2 of the top 10 players in the league right now. No other team has 2 top 10 players in the NBA playing on the same team with the Lakers. Yeah, you better do something, J.J. Redick. Then if you don't get to the Western Conference Finals, then you're not doing better than Darvin Ham. And then the thing with that, man, you know what? I just think that's crazy, man. That's ridiculous. That's actually disgusting, man. And like I said, for Stephen A. Smith to condone that shit, it's just crazy, man. But yeah, man. That's all I got on that.